from Homestead Corner, and we are not getting quite enough tomatoes at a time to process. So what I do is I take these babies and I take off my stems, I give them a good wash, and we pop them in the freezer. When we have enough to process and make diced tomatoes or sauce or whatever we're going to do with them, then I pull them out of the freezer and we blanch them, peel the skins, de-seed, and then we get them cooking up. So the first thing we do is take a look at our tomatoes and make sure there's nothing bad going on. We'll pop off the tops, and any leaves or anything on the bottom, we want to take those off. And if there's any defects, we want to set those aside so we can cut them. And then we'll throw those in a strainer. And again, we'll just pull this stem off, if I can do it one-handed. There we go. I'm going to just pull that stem off, throw it in the chicken bowl, and we're going to check, make sure there's no defects or anything weird with our tomato. Everything looks okay. It's pretty good shape. There's a little spot right there where it was leaning in the basket, but there's nothing wrong with it, so that's okay. We'll throw that in the colander also. And again, we check our bottoms. Got a little bit of debris there. We wipe that off and take our top off. And there we have a beautiful tomato. So we're just going to throw these right in the strainer, and I'm going to throw on some cold water. We're going to give these tomatoes a good washing, and we're just going to give them a good rubbing with our hands. Make sure there's no dirt and debris and they're clean, and then we will put them on the counter on a towel and dry them up a little bit. I'm going to wash up those bottoms where the leaves are. If there's any funkiness, you can cut it off. I like to cut it off before I freeze them, if there's anything I'm concerned with. Okay, so we've got our tomatoes all rinsed and wiped down so they're not too wet. We don't want to put them in all wet because then we'll just have to, it'll make us have to boil longer later to get that water out. On the top of our tomato, this one's got a little bit of wrinkling. I'm not really in love with that, so I am just going to slice this off, and we're going to put it in the bag just like that. We'll cut that bottom off that we don't like. And then this one, again, has something weird going on over here. When you cut into it, you can tell something's wrong inside too. So I definitely recommend doing this before you freeze these, so you can make sure that your tomato is good. So then we've got all these ones that are good, and we're just going to pack our bag. I kind of, while I'm washing them, I kind of put them off to the side so I can tell which ones need attention that I'm concerned with and which ones are okay. So I just use gallon-sized bags, and I throw all these puppies right in there. Sometimes I put the same tomatoes in one bag. Sometimes I mix it up. It depends on what I have for tomatoes, honestly. So mixing them's okay. I'm going to cook these. All of these tomatoes are all going to go into the same product, so I like to have a mixture while I'm cooking. I think it gives it a little bit better flavor. And here's a couple more that I'm just not happy with the tops. But we're going to just throw those right in there, and then when we get the bag full, we're going to toss it in the freezer until we have enough to process them all together, at least a whole bunch. A lot of times I will wait until we're done, and I will just spend 1 or 2 days just processing tomatoes, because I can fill a freezer usually every year. So this is it. Wash them, wipe them down, cut any spots out you're concerned with, put them in a bag, labeled up. Now we're going to toss them in the freezer. That's all there is to freezing them.